morning. I'm Sandra Hughes Hassel, President of the Young Adult Library Services Association, also known as YALSA. Welcome to the 2018 announcement of the American Library Association's Youth Media Awards. It's great to be here in Denver to share with you what has become known as the premier event for the recognition of books and media for children and young adults. Many of you may be wondering what happened to the announcement of the Alex Awards. The Alex Awards are now part of YALSA's award announcements and will take place later in our show. I would like to welcome the members of the media, our publishing colleagues, and our guests. Also, thank you to the committees who had the challenge and the thrill of selecting today's winners. For those of you watching online, especially all the young people watching in your libraries, classrooms, and homes, we're thrilled that you were able to join us. So now I'd like to introduce someone who many of us have had the pleasure of working with. He is at the helm of the oldest and largest library association in the world with a membership of more than 57,000. Please help me welcome Jim Neal, President of the American Library Association.
Thank you, Sandra. It is a pleasure to be with you here this morning. OMG. I have dreamed about being up here all of my life. Among the highlights of serving as ALA president is having the unique opportunity to participate in today's announcements, as well as being among the first to know which audiobooks authors are voted the best of the best. As libraries and our society transform, never has our work to advance our core values to create a more understanding and inclusive society been so important. As leading experts and partners in learning, exploration, and inspiration, we have great challenges before us that can serve as opportunities to work, to understand one another, to work together, and to celebrate our differences. Librarians and library staff lead efforts every day to strengthen communities and society by working to abolish ignorance, social injustice, and bigotry through our work in education and lifelong learning. The ALA's commitment to fostering understanding among library users is so profound, and we're working closely with our professional affiliates to generate awareness of quality, multicultural literature for youth that ALA will announce during next year's Youth Media Awards announcements. I would like to welcome leadership from our professional affiliates. Will our esteemed colleagues from the American India Library Association, AILA, the Asian Pacific American Librarians Association, APALA, and the Association of Jewish Libraries please stand and be recognized? On behalf of the ALA and its executive board, I want to thank our YMA awards committees who have worked so hard to select today's recipients. Because of you, our libraries and our collections will deliver on the promise of individual opportunity and community progress. This year, we will announce 18 awards that recognize the best selections in books and media for children and young adults. Please note that due to the short production time between the selection of award recipients and this morning's announcements, presentation slide information was cited from the copyright page of selected titles and from covers of selected media. In some cases, the cited information may have changed since the material was published or produced. In such cases, publishers and producers will have an opportunity to update this information after today's announcements. Now, I would like to begin our announcements. By starting with the Schneider Family Book Awards. The Schneider Family Book Awards, donated by Dr. Catherine Schneider, honor an author or illustrator for a book that embodies an artistic expression of the disability experience for child and adolescent audiences. The award, administered by the American Library Association, is given annually for the best children's, teen, and middle school book. This year's winners are: for Best Young Children's Book, Silent Days, Silent Dreams. Silent Days, Silent Dreams, written and illustrated by Alan Say and published by Arthur A. Levine Books, an imprint of Scholastic, Inc. Alan Say's distinctive biographical picture book spotlights the work and life of James Castle, an outsider artist. Deaf and autistic, this artist used his untraditional style of art to communicate his understanding of the world. Growing up at the turn of the 20th century, Castle showed incredible resilience despite an often harsh existence. The recipient of the Schneider Family Book Award for Best Middle Grade Book is Macy McMillan and the Rainbow Goddess. Macy McMillan and the Rainbow Goddess, written by Sherry Green and published by Pajama Press, Inc. This tender, free-verse novel welcomes readers into sixth grader Macy's world. Through an intergenerational relationship with her neighbor, Iris, Macy learns to navigate friendships, family changes, and school assignments. Iris learns to communicate with Macy through sign language, and Macy learns how Iris sends messages through the gift of cookies. As our final award for Best Teen Book is You're Welcome, Universe. You're Welcome, Universe, written and illustrated by Whitney Gardner and published by Alfred Knopf, an imprint of Random House Children's Books, a division of Penguin Random House. Julia is an artist, her medium, graffiti. She thrives on the thrill of creating and the risk of being caught. When she is expelled from her school for the deaf, Julia seeks to find balance between feeling invisible and her desire to be seen. Her friendship with Hiri YP unexpectedly enhances her life and her art. I would like to thank Award Jury Chair Johanna Tamplin and her jury. Will you all please stand and be recognized? Our next award is the Stonewall Book Awards. Mike Morgan and Larry Roman's Children's and Young Adult Literature Award. Sponsored by the Book Awards Committee of the Gay, Lesbian, Bisexual, and Transgender Roundtable, this award is given annually to English language books of exceptional merit relating to the gay, lesbian, bisexual, and transgender experience. The committee chose 2 honor books. They are first, As the Crow Flies, written and illustrated by Melanie Gilman, published by Iron Circus Comics. Second, The Gentleman's Guide to Vice and Virtue, written by Mackenzie Lee, published by Catherine Tagan Books, an imprint of HarperCollins Publishers. The 2 winners of the 2018 Stonewall Book Awards, Mike Morgan and Larry Roman's Children's and Young Adults Literature Award, are Little and Lion. Little and Lion, written by Brandy Colbert, published by Little Brown and Company, a division of Hachette Book Group. Little and Lion examines the tenuous bond between Suzette and her older brother Lionel, who have been diagnosed with bipolar disorder. While Suzette wrestles with keeping a secret about Lionel's treatment, she navigates attraction to childhood friend Emil and new girlfriend Raffaella. Colbert thoughtfully navigates the complexities of intersectional identities, familial loyalty, and mental illness with a very fresh and empathetic voice. The second award goes to The 57 Bus. The 57 Bus, written by Dashka Slater, published by Farrar Straus Giroux for young readers, an imprint of Macmillan Publishing Group. In The 57 Bus, journalist Dashka Slater chronicles the true story of an agender teen who was set on fire while riding a bus, and the painful repercussions for both the teens involved and their communities. Issues of gender identity, race, and class division, and the complexities of the justice system are addressed with clarity and thoughtfulness. I would like to thank Award Subcommittee Chair Dr. Christina H. Dorr and her subcommittee for today's selections. Will you all please stand and be recognized? Thank you for the privilege of participating in your program today.
Thank you, Jim. This year's press release listing all of today's winners will be posted to our webcam platform immediately after our announcements and featured in today's issues of Cognotes. Audience members can also visit ALA-ILoveLibraries.org for a list of today's winners and other announcements of notable and distinguished books and media for children, teens, and adults. Now it's my pleasure to introduce Dr. Claudette McGlynn, Chair of the Coretta Scott King Book Awards. She will be announcing the Coretta Scott King Book Awards.
Thank you. The Coretta Scott King Book Awards commemorate the life of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and honors Mrs. Coretta Scott King for continuing her husband's work. The Coretta Scott King Book Awards Committee a division of the American Library Association's Ethnic and Multicultural Information Exchange Roundtable, administers the award annually. Our first award is the Coretta Scott King Virginia Hamilton Award for Lifetime Achievement. The award is presented in even years to an African American author or illustrator for a body of his or her published books for children and or young adults, and who has made a significant and lasting literary contribution. The award is named in memory of award-winning children's author Virginia Hamilton. Hamilton wrote more than 35 books throughout her career and received numerous awards, including the Coretta Scott King Book Award, the Newbery Medal, and a host of others. The recipient of the Coretta Scott King Virginia Hamilton Award for Lifetime Achievement is Eloise Greenfield. Eloise Greenfield was born in Palmer Lee, North Carolina, and currently resides in Washington, D.C. Early in life, she discovered a love of reading and writing and realized there were few books that showed the fullness of African American life. She published her first book in 1972 and went on to write and publish more than 40 books. From Honey I Love to The Great Migration, this multiple award-winning author has captivated audience through the years. I would like to thank Award Chair Deborah D. Taylor and the Coretta Scott King Virginia Hamilton Award for Lifetime Achievement Committee, who made today's announcement possible. Will you all please stand and be recognized? Next are the Coretta Scott King Book Awards, which honor African American authors and illustrators of outstanding books for children and young adults that promote the understanding and appreciation of all people. First are the two Coretta Scott King John Steptoe Award for New Talent. This year's author recipient is David Barclay Moore for The Stars Beneath Our Feet, published by Alfred A. Knopf, an imprint of Random House Children's Books, a division of Penguin Random House, LLC. The Stars Beneath Our Feet provides a realistic lens of the Black American experience and infuses it with heart, soul, and imagination. Moore plays with language, culture, stereotypes, and reality to create an engaging book that will resonate with youth in urban communities everywhere searching for positive survival techniques. And this year's illustrator recipient is Charlie Palmer for Mama Africa, How Miriam Makeba Spread Hope with Her Song, written by Catherine Ernest and published by Farrar, Straus Giroux Books for Young Readers, an imprint of Macmillan Publishing Group, LLC. Palmer's work visually tells the story of Mama Africa's singing career through the use of vibrant, colorful illustrations that juxtapose her rise in fame in comparison to the people of South Africa's civil rights struggle with apartheid. Palmer's bold illustration expertly complement the text in a riveting duet. The committee selected 2 illustrator honor books. Gordon C. James for Crown, an Ode to the Fresh Cut, written by Derek Barnes, published by Bowden and Agate Imprint, a Deneen Milner book, and James E. Ransom for Before She Was Harriet, the story of Harriet Tubman, written by Lisa Klein Ransom, published by Holiday House. The Coretta Scott King Illustrator Award goes to Ekwa Holmes for Out of Wonder, poems celebrating poets, written by Kwame Alexander with Chris Calderer and Marjorie Wentworth, and published by Candlewick. Ekwa Holmes' mixed media collage imagines, balance the tone and tenor of the new poems created by the author while paying homage to each of the featured poets in the subtle texts extracted from various aspects of their work or life. The Coretta Scott King Book Awards Committee chose 3 author honor books. They are Derek Barnes for Crown, An Ode to the Fresh Cut, illustrated by Gordon C. James and published by Bowden and Agate Imprint, a Deneen Milner book. Jason Reynolds for Long Way Down, published by Atheneum, an imprint of Simon & Schuster, Children's Publishing Division, a Caitlin Doulati book. And Angie Thomas for The Hate You Give, published by Balser and Bray, an imprint of HarperCollins Publisher. I am pleased to announce that the winner of this year's Coretta Scott King Author Award is Renee Watson for Piecing Me Together, published by Bloomsbury Children's Books. Piecing Me Together is an inspiring tale that eloquently explores the many facets of Jade, a brilliant and creative teen on the brink of young adulthood. Watson pulls the readers into Jade's world by sharing Jade's love for the Spanish language and providing a different yet necessary story of Black womanhood. I would like to thank Sam Bloom and the Coretta Scott King jury who made this today's announcement possible. Will you all please stand and be recognized? And now, Sandra will return to announce the YALSA's awards.
Thank you, Dr. McGlynn. I would now like to announce the awards administered by the Young Adult Library Services Association, also known as YALSA. The mission of YALSA is to support library staff in alleviating the challenges teens face and in putting all teens first, especially those with the greatest needs, on the path to successful and fulfilling lives. YALSA is the 4th largest division of the American Library Association. So now on with the announcements of this year's Alex Awards. The Alex Awards are given to 10 books written for adults that have special appeal to young adults ages 12 through 18. Sponsored by the Margaret A. Edwards Trust and Book List, administered by the Young Adult Library Services Association. The awards were first given annually beginning in 1998 and became an official ALA award in 2002. The awards are named after Margaret Alexander Edwards, who was called Alex by her friends. Edwards was a pioneer in young adult librarianship, working with teens for many years at the Enoch Pratt Library in Baltimore. She served as an inspiration to many librarians who serve young adults. This year's 10 winning titles are All Systems Read by Martha Wells, a Tour.com book published by Thomas Doherty Associates, The Clockwork Dynasty by Daniel H. Wilson, published by Doubleday, a division of Penguin Random House, LLC, Down Among the Sticks and Bones by Sean N. McGuire, a Tour.com book published by Thomas Doherty Associates, Electric Arches by Eve L. Ewing, published by Haymarket Books, A Hope More Powerful Than the Sea by Melissa Fleming, published by Flatiron Books, Malagash by Joey Camus, published by ECW Press. Roughneck by Jeff Lemire, published by Gallery 13, an imprint of Simon & Schuster, Inc. She Rides Shotgun by Jordan Harper, published by Echo, an imprint of HarperCollins Publishers. Things We Have in Common by Tasha Kavanaugh, published by Myra Books. And finally, An Unlikeness of Magicians by Kat Howard, published by Saga Press, an imprint of Simon & Schuster, Inc. For more information on the Alex Awards, including a list of vetted nominations, please visit ala.org/YALSA/Alex-Awards. I would like to ask Alex Award Chair Mara Kotau and members of her committee to please stand and be recognized. Thank you for making this award possible. The Margaret E. Edwards Award was established in 1988 and honors an author and specific titles by an author for significant and lasting contribution to young adult literature. I'm really excited about who won this, so I'm trying to be calm. The award recognizes an author's work in helping adolescents become aware of themselves and addressing questions about their role and importance in relationships, society, and in the world. It's sponsored by the School Library Journal and administered annually by YALSA. The award is named for Margaret A. Edwards, a pioneer in youth services. Through her work at Enoch Pratt Free Library in Baltimore, Edwards demonstrated that only through literature would young adults move beyond themselves to a larger world. This year's winner of the Margaret A. Edwards Award for significant and lasting contribution to young adult literature is Angela Johnson. Johnson is being recognized for her books Heaven, Looking for Red, The First Part Last, The Sweet Hereafter, published by Simon & Schuster Books for Young Readers, an imprint of Simon & Schuster Children's Publishing, and Bird, published by Puffin Books, an imprint of Penguin Young Adult Readers, and Toning the Sweep, published by Orchard Books, an imprint of Scholastic, Inc. Whether exploring teenage pregnancy, the devastating effects of war, complex family dynamics, or the search for selfhood, the young adult novels of Angela Johnson are notable for their depiction of teens in crisis, plummeting the depths of grief and sorrow to find hope and resilience. The Margaret A. Edwards Award Committee is a virtual committee, but we do have a few committee members with us today. Please help me thank Jonathan Hunt and members of his committee for their efforts in selecting Angela Johnson as this year's winner. The William C. Morris Award honors a book written for young adults by a first-time, previously unpublished author. The award's namesake is William C. Morris, an influential innovator in the publishing world and an advocate for marketing books for children and young adults. William, called Bill by his friends and his colleagues, left an impressive mark on the field of children's and young adult literature. He was beloved in the publishing industry and the library profession for his generosity and marvelous enthusiasm promoting lifetime literature for children and adults. The William C. Morris Award Committee selected 5 finalists in December. They are Dear Martin, written by Nick Stone, published by Crown Books for Young Readers, an imprint of Random House Children's Books, a division of Penguin Random House. Devils Within, written by S.F. Henson, published by Sky Pony Press, an imprint of Sky Horse Publishing. The Hate You Give, written by Angie Thomas, published by Valser and Bray, an imprint of HarperCollins Publishers. Saints and Misfits, written by S.K. Ali, published by Salam Reads, an imprint of Simon & Schuster Children's Publishing. And Starfish, written by Akemi Dawn Bowman, published by Simon, Pulse, an imprint of Simon & Schuster Children's Publishing. Okay, so I knew about this last night, so I'm really excited. The winner of the 2018 William C. Morris Award is The Hate U Give. Written by Angie Thomas, published by Balser and Gray, an imprint of HarperCollins. Star Carter has learned to live in two worlds, managing her life as a prep school student by day while returning each night to low-income neighborhood she calls home. After witnessing the murder of her young, unarmed friend, Khalil, by the police officer, these two worlds collide, and Star must decide what risks she's willing to take to pursue justice. Presentation of the Morris Award will take place at 10:30 this morning in room 203 of the Colorado Convention Center, and we are pleased to announce that all of the authors are attending. Tickets will be available at the door, so if you don't already have a ticket, come on down and get one. I want to thank the William C. Morris Award Committee for their efforts to select today's honorees. Will Morris Award Chair Sarah Jeltsinette and her committee please stand and be recognized? The Excellence in Nonfiction Award honors the best nonfiction book published for young adults ages 12 to 18 each year. The award committee selected 5 finalists in December. They are #NotYourPrincess, Voices of Native American Women, edited by Mary Beth Leatherdale and Lisa Charlieboy, and published by Annick Press. Eyes of the World, Robert Capra, Gerda Tarot, and the Invention of Modern Photojournalism, written by Mark Aronson and Marina Badeau, and published by Henry Holt, an imprint of Macmillan Children's Publishing Group. The 57 Bus, a true story of 2 teenagers and the crime that changed their lives, written by Dashka Slater and published by Farrow Strauss Giroux, an imprint of Macmillan Children's Publishing Group. Vincent and Theo, the Van Gogh brothers, written by Deborah Heligman and published by Godwin Books, Henry Holt, an imprint of Macmillan Children's Publishing. And The Whydah, a pirate ship feared, wrecked, and found, written by Martin W. Stanley and published by Candlewick Press. The winner of the 2018 Award for Excellence in Nonfiction is Vincent and Theo, the Van Gogh brothers. Written by Deborah Heligman and published by Godwin Books, Henry Holt, an imprint of Macmillan Children's Press. Drawing on their lifelong correspondence, Heligman plumbs the brothers' journey from aesthetic upbringing in a Protestant parsonage to the auction houses of Europe, as Theo develops business acumen, all the while supporting volatile Vincent's groundbreaking artistic endeavors, both materially and emotionally. Tickets will be available at the door of the YALSA Nonfiction Award presentation, which will take place at 10:30 a.m. this morning in room 203 of the Colorado Convention Center, with Lisa Charlieboy, Mark Aronson, Marina Badeau, and Dashka Slater attending. So I'd like to thank the YALSA Excellence in Nonfiction Committee for their efforts to select today's honorees. Will Nonfiction Award Chair Wendy Stevens and her committee please stand and be recognized? So our next award is the Michael L. Prince Award for Excellence in Young Adult Literature. This award, first given in 2000, is named for the late Michael L. Prince, a Topeka, Kansas school librarian who had a passion for books and reading and a commitment to finding the right book for the right student. The award is administered annually by YALSA and is sponsored by Booklist magazine. The committee chose 4 Prince Award honor books. Okay, you ready? They are Long Way Down, written by Jason Reynolds, published by Caitlin Dowley Books, Athenaeum Books for Young Readers, an imprint of Simon & Schuster Children's Publishing. Strange the Dreamer, written by Lonnie Taylor, and published by Little Brown Books for Young Adult Readers, a division of Hatchet Book Group. The Hate You Give, written by Angie Thomas and published by Balser and Gray, an imprint of HarperCollins Publishers. Vincent and Theo, The Van Gogh Brothers, written by Deborah Heligman and published by Godwin Books, Henry Holt, an imprint of Macmillan Children's Publishing Group. And now, I'm pleased to announce the winner of the Michael L. Prince Award for Excellence in Young Adult Literature is We Are Okay. Written by Nina Lepore and published by Dutton Books for Young Readers, an imprint of Penguin Young Readers. California native Marin, devastated by grief and questioning her reality, is spending winter break in an empty dorm room in upstate New York. But now her best friend Mabel is on her way to visit, and Marin must confront the loneliness that is threatening to take over her heart. I would like to thank the Michael L. Prince Award Committee for their efforts to select today's honorees. The Prince Award Chair, Angela Karstesten, and her committee, please stand and be recognized. There you are. So the remainder of today's awards are administered by the Association for Library Service to Children.
Hello, my name is Nina Lindsay, and I am the president of the Association for Library Service to Children, also known as ALSC, a dynamic organization dedicated to the support and enhancement of library service to children. Our first award is the Odyssey Award, an annual award given to the producer of the best audiobook for children or young adults available in English in the United States. The Odyssey Award is jointly administered by ALSC and YALSA, both divisions of the American Library Association, and is sponsored by Booklist magazine. The committee chose 5 Odyssey Honor audiobooks. They are The Book of Dust, La Belle Sauvage, produced by Listening Library, an imprint of the Penguin Random House Audio Publishing Group, written by Philip Pullman and narrated by Michael Sheen. A Boy Called Christmas, produced by Listening Library, an imprint of the Penguin Random House Audio Publishing Group, written by Matt Haig and narrated by Stephen Fry. Long Way Down, produced by Simon & Schuster Audio and written and narrated by Jason Reynolds. Trombone Shorty, produced by Live Oak Media, written by Tony Trombone Shorty Andrews and narrated by Dion Graham. And The Wizards of Once, produced by Hachette Audio, written by Cressida Cowell and narrated by David Tennant. And now I am pleased to announce the winner of the Odyssey Award for the best audiobook produced for children or young adults. The Hate You Give, produced by Harper Audio, written by Angie Thomas and narrated by Bonnie Turpin. The Hate You Give follows 16-year-old Star Carter as she grapples with the effects of systemic racism and the murder of her friend Khalil. Bonnie Turpin's narration immerses listeners in this powerful story, compelling them to question, understand, and empathize.
He opens the driver's door. You okay, Star? Pow! 1. Khalil's body jerks. Blood splatters from his back. He holds on to the door to keep himself upright. Pow! 2. Khalil gasps. Pow! 3. Khalil looks at me, stunned. He falls to the ground.
I would like to thank the Odyssey Award Committee for their efforts to select today's honorees. Will Odyssey Award Chair Joan Schroeder-Kindig and her committee please stand and be recognized? Our next award is a Pura Belpré Award, which honors a Latina writer and illustrator whose work best portrays, affirms, and celebrates the Latino cultural experience in an outstanding work of literature for children and youth. I would now like to introduce Tess Tobin, President of the National Association to Promote Library and Information Services to Latinos and the Spanish-speaking, also known as Reforma, who will announce the awards in both English and Spanish.
Thank you, Nina. It's a pleasure to be here today. The Pura Belpré Award is co-founded and sponsored by ALSC and Reforma, an affiliate of the American Library Association. Reforma works to recruit bilingual and bicultural library professionals and support staff, and supports the development of library services and programs that meet the needs of the Latino community. Now on with today's exciting announcements, which I will present in both English and Spanish. The committee chose 2 Pura Belpré honor books for illustration. El comité eligió 2 libros de honor Pura Belpré en la categoría de ilustración. All Around Us, illustrated by Adriana M. Garcia, escrito por Yelena González y publicado por 5 Punto Press. Y Frida Kahlo and Her Animalitos, ilustrado por John Parra, escrito por Mónica Brown y publicado por North-South Books, una división de Nord-Sud Verlag AG. And now I am pleased to announce the winner of the Pura Belpré Award for Illustration. Y ahora me complace anunciar el libro ganador del Premio Pura Belpré en la categoría de Ilustración, La Princesa and the Pea. Ilustrado por Juana Martínez Neal, escrito por Susan Middleton Ella, publicado por G.P. Putnam Sons, una división de Penguin Random House, Inc. The Princess and the Pea is a tale set among guinea pigs, stone arches, and fuzzy indigenous Peruvian textiles. Juana Martínez Neal's mischievous characters play out the classic Princess and the Pea tale with a twist. Cultural elements inspired by the Peruvian village of Huilloc and the Colca Cañon add vibrancy and playfulness in Martínez Neal's acrylic and colored pencil illustrations. La Princesa and the Pea es un cuento que transcurre entre cuyes, conejillos de indias, arcadas de piedra y textiles indígenas peruanos. Los juguetones personajes de Juana Martínez Neal interpretan el clásico cuento de la princesa y el guisante, pero con particularidades propias. Los elementos culturales inspirados en la aldea peruana de Huilloc y el cañón de Colca otorgan vivacidad y alegría a las ilustraciones en acrílico y lápices de colores de Martínez Neal. Now on to the big award also. The committee selected 2 Pura Belpré honor books for text. El comité seleccionó 2 libros de honor Pura Belpré en la categoría de narración. El Epic Fail of Arturo Zamora, escrito por Pablo Cartaya y publicado por Viking, una división de Penguin Random House. And The First Rule of Punk, escrito por Cecilia Pérez y publicado por Viking, una división de Penguin Random House. And now, this year's Pura Belpré Award for Text. Y ahora este año el libro ganador del Premio Pura Belpré de Narración es Lucky Broken Girl, escrito por Ruch Behard y publicado por Nancy Paulson Books, una división de Penguin Random House. In Lucky Broken Girl, 5th grade Ruthie Mizari, newly arrived to the United States from Cuba in the 1960s, is confined to a full-body cast after a life-changing accident. Surrounded by her Cuban Jewish family and a diverse group of neighbors, Ruthie finds strength and courage to heal and grow. In Lucky Broken Girl, Ruthie Mizari, alumna de quinto grado, recién llegado a los Estados Unidos, procedente de Cuba en la década de los años 60, tiene que enyesarle todo el cuerpo después de un accidente que transforma su vida. Sin embargo, rodeado de su familia judío-cubana y un grupo diverso de vecinos, Ruthie encuentra fuerza y valor para sanar y crecer. Will the Pura Belpré Award Chair, Alicia K. Long, please stand, and her committee? Thank you for your work.
Gracias, Tess, por unirse a nosotros hoy, y gracias a Reforma por ser nuestros socios en este importante trabajo. Our next award is the Mayhill Arbuthnot Honor Lecture Award. Each year, an individual of distinction in the field of children's literature is chosen to deliver the Mayhill Arbuthnot Honor Lecture. The lecturer prepares and presents an original paper that makes a significant contribution to children's literature. The 2019 Arbuthnot Lecture will be delivered by Debbie Reese, educator, blogger, and founder of the American Indians in Children's Literature blog. Dr. Reese is a longtime advocate for Native representation and is a former teacher and university professor. She earned her PhD in education from the University of Illinois, where she also helped establish the Native American House and American Indian Studies program. Dr. Reese also holds a master's in education degree in library and information science from San Jose State University. She is tribally enrolled at Nambe Oringe Pueblo in New Mexico. Will the Mayhill Arbuthnot Honor Lecture Award Chair Barbara A. Genko and her committee please stand and be recognized? Thank you. Next is the Mildred L. Batchelder Award, which honors the American publisher of the most outstanding title originally published in a language other than English, in a country other than the United States, and subsequently translated into English for publication in the United States. There are 3 Batchelder honor books. This year's honor books are Malala, Activist for Girls' Education, published by Charlesburg Publishing, written by Raphael Ferrer, illustrated by Aurelia Fronti, and translated from the French by Julie Cormier. When a Wolf is Hungry, published by Erdmann's Books for Young Readers, written by Christine Naumann-Viamin, illustrated by Chris DiGiacomo, and translated from the French by Erdmann's Books for Young Readers. And You Can't Be Too Careful, published by Elsewhere Editions, written and illustrated by Roger Melo, and translated from the Portuguese by Daniel Hahn. This year's Mildred L. Batchelder Award goes to The Murderer's Ape, published by Delacorte Press, an imprint of Random House Children's Books, a division of Random House LLC. written and illustrated by Jakob Vegelius, and translated from the Swedish by Peter Graves. When the sea captain she works with is wrongly convicted of murder, Sally Jones, a gorilla who can read, write, and understand humans, embarks on a lengthy adventure to clear the captain's name. Riding on a typewriter, she narrates the story of her journey from Portugal to India and back again. Will the Mildred L. Batchelder Chair, Elizabeth A. Poe, and her committee please stand and be recognized? Thank you for your work. I would now like to present the Robert F. Seibert Medal. The Seibert Medal honors the author and illustrator of the most distinguished informational book for children. Informational books are defined as those written and illustrated to present, organize, and interpret documentable factual material for children. The award is named to commemorate Robert F. Seibert, founder of Bound to Stay Bound Books, Inc. The committee chose 4 Seibert honor books. Chef Roy Choi and the Street Food Remix, written by Jacqueline Briggs Martin and Junjo Lee, illustrated by Man One, and published by Readers to Eaters Books. Grand Canyon, written and illustrated by Jason Chin and published by Roaring Book Press, a Neil Porter book. Not So Different, What You Really Want to Ask About Having a Disability, written by Shane Burkaw, illustrated by Matt Carr, and published by Roaring Book Press. And Sea Otter Heroes, The Predators That Saved an Ecosystem, written by Patricia Newman and published by Melbook Press, a division of Lerner Publishing Group, Inc. And now, I am pleased to announce that the winner of the Robert F. Seibert Medal for the most distinguished informational book is 12 Days in May, Freedom Ride 1961, written by Larry Dane Brimmer and published by Calkins Creek, an imprint of Highlights. In 1961, on the 7th anniversary of the Brown versus Board of Education ruling, 13 Freedom Riders boarded 2 buses in Washington, D.C., bound for New Orleans. The riders were willing to risk their lives to challenge illegal Jim Crow practices on interstate buses and in bus terminals. Will the Robert F. Seibert Medal Chair, Tolly Ballas, and her committee please stand and be recognized? Thank you for your work. Next is the Laura Ingalls Wilder Award, which honors an author or illustrator whose books have made a substantial and lasting contribution to children's literature. This year's recipient is Jacqueline Woodson. Born in Columbus, Ohio in 1963, Jacqueline Woodson lives with her family in Brooklyn, New York. She has said that as a young child, she wrote stories at every opportunity. The author of more than 24 books for children and young adults, she was named the Young People's Poet Laureate by the Poetry Foundation in 2015 and is the 2018-19 National Ambassador for Young People's Literature. Will the Laura Ingalls Wilder Award Committee Chair Rita Auerbach and her members of her committee please stand and be recognized? Thank you for your work. Our next award is the Theodore Seuss Geisel Award. The Theodore Seuss Geisel Award honors the author and illustrator of a book for beginning readers who demonstrate great creativity and imagination in their literary and artistic achievements to engage children in reading. The award is named for children's author Theodore Geisel, also known as Dr. Seuss. The award committee has selected 5 Geisel honor books. This year's honor books are I See a Cat, Written and illustrated by Paul Meisel and published by Holiday House. King and Kayla and the Case of the Missing Dog Treats. Written by Dory Hillestead Butler, illustrated by Nancy Myers, and published by Peachtree Publishers. My Kite is Stuck and Other Stories. Written and illustrated by Selena Yoon and published by Bloomsbury Children's Books. Noodleheads See the Future. Written by Ted Arnold, Martha Hamilton, and Mitch Weiss, illustrated by Ted Arnold, and published by Holiday House. And Snail and Worm Again. Written and illustrated by Tina Kugler, and published by Houghton Mifflin Harcourt Publishing Company. This year's Theodore Seuss Geisel Award goes to Charlie and Mouse. Written by Laurel Snyder, illustrated by Emily Hughes, and published by Chronicle Books. In 4 short chapters that could each stand alone, readers join young brothers Charlie and Mouse as they talk to sleeping lumps, invite friends to an impromptu playground party, fail to sell rocks, and invent the bedtime banana. Emily Hughes' playful illustrations and Laurel Snyder's clever text work together to highlight an inclusive cast of friends and neighbors, capturing a unique sense of place while reflecting the diverse world in which all children live. Will the Theodore Seuss Geisel Award Chair Sandra Imdick and members of her committee please stand and be recognized? Thank you for your work. And now for the announcements of the oldest and most widely known awards, the Caldecott and Newbery Medals. First awarded in 1938 in order of the 19th century English illustrator Randolph Caldecott, the Caldecott Medal is awarded to the artist of the most distinguished American picture book for children published during the previous year. The committee has chosen 4 Caldecott Honor books. They are Big Cat, Little Cat, illustrated and written by Elisha Cooper and published by Roaring Book Press, a division of Holtzbrink Publishing Holdings Limited Partnership. Crown, an ode to the fresh cut, illustrated by Gordon C. James, written by Derek Barnes, and published by Bolden, an Agate imprint, a Deneen Milner book. A Different Pond, illustrated by T. Hui, written by Bao Fee, and published by Capstone Young Readers, a Capstone imprint. And Grand Canyon, illustrated and written by Jason Chin, a Neil Porter book published by Roaring Brook Press, a division of Holtzbrink Publishing Holdings Limited Partnership. The winner of this year's Randolph Caldecott Medal for Outstanding Illustration of a Children's Book is Wolf in the Snow, illustrated and written by Matthew Cordell and published by Fywell and Friends, an imprint of Macmillan. In this spare, nearly wordless picture book, a girl and a wolf cub each get lost in the snow and rescue each other. Cordell uses pen and ink and watercolor wash to capture the frenzied snowfall and the brave girl's frantic, frightful journey. Fairy tale elements and a strong sense of color and geometry offer an engrossing, emotionally charged story. Will the Randolph Caldecott Medal Chair Tish Wilson and members of her committee please stand and be recognized? Thank you all for your good work. And finally, the John Newbery Medal. First awarded in 1922 and named after the 18th century British bookseller John Newbery, this medal is awarded annually to the author of the most distinguished book for children published during the preceding year. 3 titles have been named Newbery Honor Books. They are Long Way Down, written by Jason Reynolds and published by Athenaeum an imprint of Simon & Schuster's Children's Publishing Division, a Caitlin Lohi book. Piecing Me Together by Renee Watson, and published by Bloomsbury Children's Books. And Crown, an ode to the fresh cut, written by Derek Barnes, illustrated by Gordon C. James, and published by Bolden and Agate Imprint, a Deneen Miller book. And now, the winner of this year's John Newbery Medal for the year's most distinguished contribution to American literature for children is Hello, Universe. Written by Aaron Entrada Kelly and published by Green Willow Books, an imprint of HarperCollins Publishers. Filipino folklore and real life converge at the bottom of a well. Even while following signs and portents, the characters are the definition of creative agency. Masterfully told through shifting points of view, this modern quest tale shimmers with humor and authentic emotion. Will the John Newbery Medal Chair, Cecilia P. McGowan, and her committee please stand and be recognized?
Thank you all so much. I want to again thank all the committees and all their chairs for making today's announcements possible. We could not have done it without you. Congratulations, a job well done. So for more information regarding today's winners, please visit the ALA Youth Media Awards webpage at ala.org/YMA. Thank you, and go out and have a great day in Denver.